Greetings, folks, and welcome to today's show. As we have struggled to get the economy going in the last 4 or 5 years after our sizable recession, all of a sudden we've been hearing a lot about entrepreneurs. That's a word that 10 years ago you rarely heard. Now it's everywhere. And so we're having one of those on the show today. We have our own young entrepreneur, Chad Marcum. And Chad, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
And he is the, is Ripple Music still going?
Ripple Music is still going. It's alive and well.
The founder and CEO of Ripple Music. And what we want to talk about today is a competition that he entered into in Atlanta. And then that's progressed. He's progressing on from there. And so, but before we get into that, tell the folks a little about Chad. Who are you?
So I am a tech entrepreneur. My background is in architecture. So I started off as an architect and practiced architecture for about 3 years. And
where did you go to school?
I went to school. I studied at Harvard and Belmont University and Savannah College of Art and Design. So got 3 different Maj Pazes of educations, very eclectic education. And then I practiced architecture, and the kind of recession hit, and the housing economy took the direction it took. And so, more out of necessity than anything, I learned to become an entrepreneur, and started my own company out of necessity, more or less, and fell in love with it, fell in love with what I was doing, got more engaged with technology, and really just started reading and learning everything I could possibly learn about it. And from there, it's gotten me to where I am today.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, because we really have encouraged entrepreneurship, which really means people with an idea, an innovative idea of some kind, being able to put it to use. So, okay, very good. Well, with that, folks, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll talk some more.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the 2 of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com, featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
We're talking today, folks, with Chad Marcum, who is a young entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur, and we want to find out what he's been doing and how come and where he's going. So, Chad, you were in an international competition some few months ago down in Atlanta.
That's correct, yeah.
Tell the folks about that.
So it's called the International Space Apps Challenge, and it was basically a competition that was held by NASA, and it was an international competition meaning they had different locations throughout the world. And virtually every country was represented.
Some 95 of
right.
Yeah.
And they had different challenges, different kind of global, international big challenges that they issued. There were 5 different categories. There was technology in space, human space flight, asteroids, Earthwatch, and robotics. So these were the different types of challenges, and then within those categories there were subcategories of different ideas that they gave the entrepreneurs and the these tech developers. And so they asked them to solve these problems, and I drove down to Atlanta wanting to just try to solve one of these problems and see if I could meet somebody and join up on a team, and I had no expectations. And went down there and met a girl named Heidi Prosk, and she's from South Africa. And we decided to team up, and we worked through the weekend to develop an app, and we chose the we chose to do the category Earthwatch.
And develop an app. For those of us who are not app savvy, what are you talking about?
So an app is basically if you have on a smartphone, typically it can be an Android or iPhone. These are cell phones basically, and you download apps onto the cell phones and can interact with them. They can be games, they can be news related, they can be virtually anything. And we built one for children's, for a younger demographic audience, and we were very blessed and humbled to win the Atlanta division. And when we won, we were just blown away with amazement that we pulled it off. But then we competed on a global scale. So Atlanta competed against New York and some of these other cities, London, all the other cities around the globe.
Well, I think I saw a number that says there were about 8,000 participants.
8,000 participants. So to come out on top of that, it was pretty phenomenal. We were pretty ecstatic about it. Yeah.
Well, tell the folks what your Earthwatch is about. What are you doing?
So it's a game. It's a game about Astrid, the astronaut, and this is kind of a bubbly young woman. Cartoon character, and her goal is to fly up into space, and you actually look down onto the Earth and you see a location of the Earth, but you have to guess what city it is that she's trying to land in. And so what that does is it teaches kids about geography, and more importantly, if you don't know what city that is, you can ask for a hint, and it'll give you the latitude and longitude of that specific city, which I don't know if you, Tom, if you know latitude and longitudes of cities, but I never grew up knowing, or no one ever taught me that.
I know what they are.
Yeah, I know what they are, but if you told me this latitude and that longitude, I wouldn't have a clue what it is. So that it helps them identify where on the Earth the latitude and longitude is. It also gives you a timestamp of that city. If you want another hint, you can learn what time it is or what temperature it is there. So it starts teaching kids about geography, and it does it in a really fun way where you pretend to be an astronaut, you're blast off in the ship, you're looking back down on the Earth, and each one is different. We actually tapped into NASA's satellite imagery, so you're actually seeing real-time photos of the Earth through Astrid's eyes, if you will. Yeah.
All right, and so what are you doing? Are you just you looking for some place to land?
Exactly. So it's like I said, she's a cartoon character. You look like you're in the cockpit. You blast off into space and you kind of fly around the Earth, and then it stops and identifies a location, and you have to decide what city. You get 4 different cities. You have to choose which city that is. And if you get it wrong, there's all the alarms go off in your cockpit. You got it wrong.
4 possibilities, and you
4
have to
possibilities.
choose which one
You get to
you're
choose.
looking at,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like I said, it's an educational tool, and that was the goal there.
All right.
Yeah.
And your little astronaut's name was
Astrid.
Astrid.
Yeah,
Yes.
Astrid.
Now, where did that come from?
We just pulled it up. It sounded good at the time. We literally had a weekend to identify an idea and a goal and how to solve the Earthwatch challenge. And so that's it was the best we could do in a weekend. And I like the name Astrid. I don't know, Astrid's astronaut. It had a nice little ring to it.
Yeah, well, it has a little space sound.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Well, you won the contest there. And then you met a guy, Francois.
One of the judges, Bruno.
One of the judges.
One of the judges in the competition. There were several judges, but one of them came up to me after the competition and really loved what we were doing and loved the work that we had done, and asked me to come on board with him and help him with some of the apps that he was developing. And Bruno was invested. His company was invested into by Marcum. So when I learned that he was a degree away from Marcum, I was on board. I wanted to get involved in that.
And you'll have to tell everybody, including me, why do I need to know Marcum?
Marcum is kind of one of my personal idols. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's an entrepreneur, tech entrepreneur. So he's kind of been there, done that, and
the Dallas
been
Mavericks.
very successful.
That's somebody's sports team.
Yeah, it's a basketball.
What do the Mavericks do?
They're an NBA team. Come on, Tom, you know this. You know this. Yeah.
Well, not everybody.
So he owns the Dallas Mavericks, and pretty neat character. So to be working with him in one of his companies was kind of an honor. And we did two apps. I did 2 apps with that company. One is Selfie 360, and the other is Balltoon.
And Selfie 360, what am I?
Selfie 360.
What is it?
It's a whole bunch of fun, is what it is, Tom. It is. Oh, here we go. We're showing it. So this is a Selfie 360 for the people at home. This is one that Tom and I took right before the show. I was showing it off to Tom, and then literally texted it to the guy backstage, and he's able to put it up. So literally you can take a Selfie 360 with one of your friends, and you can text it, you can tweet it, you can email it. It's a really fun, interactive way to take photos. And
why and how do you get the motion in there? That we can't.
It's almost like a stop motion. So what you're seeing there are several pictures together that are pixeled together or stapled together, basically. So that's what you're seeing right there, and it comes out as a MP4 file, so you can actually put it up on Facebook or any of your social media outlets and kind of see instead of just a 2D picture, you get more of a 3-dimensional view.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had another app you did with them.
I did. We did an app called Balltoon, and Balltoon was released right before the World Cup.
Balltoon.
Balltoon, Balltune, and the goal with Balltoon was it's where you hold out a soccer ball and use your phone to record it dropping, and let the soccer ball bounce 3 or 4 times, and then it will tell you the PSI level of the soccer ball. And it'll tell you if it's in a red zone, it's dangerous. So if it's over 15 PSI, if you head the soccer ball, it can be very dangerous to kids. So we want to eliminate that factor where kids aren't getting injured anymore. And then more importantly, the reason for understanding.
Well, it could be your PSI could be too low.
Right, exactly. And the goal with it is to identify what type of soccer ball you like, because you can adjust it to your favorite soccer player. So David Beckham likes his at 12.7 PSI, so he can kick the ball further and faster, and another soccer player may like it.
12.7.
Exactly. I mean, they've identified where they like their soccer ball, and you can adjust it to your favorite player, depending on if you're a defensive player or offensive player. You can start having more ball control if it's a little bit lower and things like that. So it gets very, very, very precision in soccer playing. But obviously, soccer is a big global market that a lot of people play. So
yeah,
so we had a lot of success with that.
So that's one way or the other, they've been measuring it all along. This is
a way to do it with your phone, real easy, nice, yeah. And actually, Mark Cuban uses it for his basketball team. So the Dallas Mavericks use it to get game-regulated balls, so that they can accurately predict if it's game-regulated, his basketballs for his Dallas Mavericks.
Okay. All right. Well, are you still connected with them?
Yeah, of course. We've got an exciting release that will be coming out. I can't really talk much about it, but we'll have a lot more exciting new projects that will come through the pipeline with those guys that you should expect to see more exciting stuff like that.
Where are they located? How do you?
Bruno is out of Atlanta, Georgia, and Mark Cuban is obviously in Dallas, and kind of goes where he wants to go, I guess.
Okay. Well, we need to take a short commercial break, folks, and we'll be right back.
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
The Kia Cadenza sale continues at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. We still have a great selection to choose from. Purchase one of these Kia Cadenzas out of dealer inventory and receive dealer invoice pricing, starting as low as $32,545. No games, no gimmicks, no hassles. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. Invoice pricing for a limited time only. Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Why buy anywhere else?
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
We're back, folks, and we're talking today with Chad Marcum, who is a young tech entrepreneur, and he's been doing what a lot of young folks consider, fun over the last several months. Well, longer than that, but things that he's been involved in that we've been talking about. And since you got back from those ventures, you've been trying to do some more stuff, sounds like locally or Tennessee statewide or something.
Yeah. We the most recent project I've gotten involved with 4 other friends, and it's called it's in the music sector, and it's for people who play music or write music or sing or just have a great voice, and it's called mudslide.cool. It's an online application.
Where do you get these names?
Well, this I didn't come up with this one. Actually the gentleman that came up with that name is one of the founders, and he's with Google Music, and he's the lead attorney for Google Music, and he wanted to start a label called Mudslide, and so we didn't fight him on it. We said, all right, that's fine. We'll just call it Mudslide. So it's mudslide.cool. It very well may change in the future, but it is for right now. It's mudslide.cool, and I think most domains have .com, and ours is .cool, COOL, which is kind of a different domain, and basically what it is it's a place. We got it brought up on the screen here. You can see this when you go online. We're running a competition right now for the North Alabama All Stars. So basically, if you look right there in the purple, you can see where you upload your video. You would just click that, and you take a picture of yourself and sing to your best ability. Then you upload that video of you singing. And then basically once you've uploaded it, you can go vote for it. You can click down at the red button right there, and you can go vote for it. You'll see your video posted, and
why are we voting for it?
Well, because there's a competition, right? We've got several different. You can see there's several different videos of people that are posted. Their videos up here. They're just singing in front, in the shower, wherever, and we want to find the most popular, somebody that people enjoy listening to. So if you want to go in there and vote for one of your favorite musicians, you vote for them, and the winner will actually get a cash prize, and more importantly, we'll get a recording session at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals. So this is a really big opportunity. Fame Studios is known around the world for the people that it has brought. It's created U2, Aretha Franklin. The list goes on and on and on. Rolling Stones. I could sit here for days and talk about the different people that have recorded down there.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who. Muscle Shoals, it seems like an odd place to be having this kind of an enterprise. But there was way back. There was a black singer, I think, who
Mustang Sally.
Who originally got attention down there and broadcast them there.
Exactly.
And so forth. What was his name?
We put me on the spot there.
I'm sorry.
You put me on the spot there, Tom. I don't know.
Anyway, so that's how Muscle Shoals got into business, and they've continued it ever since.
And there's something really special about the Muscle Shoals area, because it's really been profound in creating just amazing songs. Every time anybody's gone down there and recorded at Fame Studios, they've come out with a huge hit record, and for whatever reason, it's something in the mud, they say, or the fact that the river comes through there. They don't know what it is, what that secret sauce is, but there's something really special about that. So we want to find that next sound, that next voice, and take them down to Muscle Shoals and see if we can't make that next hit record, or that next big star.
Well, how you doing? You're still searching.
So we're searching. Yeah, we're scouring. We're scouring all over. So we want people to upload videos. The more content, the more opportunities there are for other people. And
well, are you encouraging anybody out there with a song?
if you have, it doesn't even have to be your own song. It can be, you can cover someone else's song. That's the beauty of what we're doing at Mudslide is you could cover someone else's song. You can get on there. You don't have to play an instrument. Some of the people that you see
it's
submitted,
not just the song, the performance.
It's the performance. We're looking for somebody who can vocally perform, has the skills to be the next star. And if you have it, then we want to hear it. We want you to get on there and find a way to get a camera, use a smartphone, whatever it takes, and record you singing, and then upload your video to mudslide.cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else you got going? That was Mudslide, and anything else going on? Aren't you doing something to get more young people around the area, statewide?
Absolutely, Tom. I think it's really important that we continue educating our youth and educating others about technology and the importance of it, and learning how to code is very valuable, not just to young kids, but to economics. It's important right now that people learn how to do that. And I think we're starting to see that more and more in the school systems, where especially here locally in Tullahoma, I think that our Dr. Lawson has been an advocate in getting new technologies engaged in school systems, and I love seeing that. And we here try to bring in statewide initiatives. One of them is 100 Girls of Code. This is where girls can come and learn for free how to code, and it's ages from 12 to 18, and they spend a week with us and just learn from other girls. And it's very important to do that as well, because there aren't enough women involved.
When you say come in, where you come in from where? Where do you
come in from anywhere. So the 100 Girls of Code has different locations, but specifically they have the one in Tullahoma that we do quarterly, or I'm sorry, bi-quarterly. So if they go to, if somebody's interested in if they have a child that's a girl that's in the 12 to 18-year-old range, they would want to go onto 100 Girls of Code and find a location near them and go have their daughter or granddaughter, whoever it is, sign up for that, because it's very beneficial. And those last, it's free to them, and it lasts about 3 or 4 days. And they come out with amazing apps themselves and websites, and it's pretty
you
neat.
mentioned a little earlier, and I think that's an important point, and one maybe you could emphasize a little, and that is the fact that since the world is going high tech, if these youngsters coming up expect to work and be able to make a living, then they're going to need to get into that stream.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing with society. Kind of one of the things with technology and the advancements in it is a lot of these coders and developers. It's their job to find a way to take over someone else's job. So using technology or robotics or something like that, where it can be more efficient and faster and done easily. So it's important to understand the technology side of things, and it's important to understand the balance that we maintain, where people aren't losing their jobs. And
yeah, the other thing that I think worth mentioning is you seem to be inclined. You had Heidi and your partner down in Atlanta, and now you're teaching girls to code. You seem to be on a path there to encourage females to.
I do. Well, it's certainly lacking. There's a lack of women in the industry, and it's important that we see a balance there. And a lot of the women that I've seen develop apps are pretty amazing designers and coders, the ones that I've seen come out of there. But there's a lot of initiatives. I know Google is a big advocate for getting more women into executive positions. Google, it's the big big company. They've launched large initiatives within the country to help see more women in this field. But that's not to say, I'm a man, right? I want to see the men succeed too, so I'm not biased anyway. But
well, as we say, you know, if they expect to be able to work and make a living,
well, there's a co-ed called Tennessee Code Academy. If the viewers at home, if they have a grandson or a son that they want to learn how to code, then they should look at Tennessee Code Academy. That's another code camp where they spend a week and they learn whether they like it or not. You know, and you don't have to know anything about coding. You don't have to know
who's running that one?
That's out of Clarksville, so that's Tennessee Tech. TTU.
One of the universities.
One of the universities alongside one of the accelerators up there is launching that, and they're doing a great job, and it's a great program, and they've come to Tullahoma as well, so it's another way that.
Well, with that, folks, guess what? We've run out of time. We're going to have to take a short commercial break and wrap up.
Imagine a world with more birthdays. We strive for it every day. We fight to get people the best access to care and the chance for more parties to plan. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We're back, folks, and we've been talking today with young Chad Marcum, who is a tech entrepreneur, and he's been telling us a lot of the exciting things going on in the development of applications. So, Chad, you got a word you want to speak to the folks out there? Maybe it's particular to the youngsters, huh?
Well, I would say there's probably a lot of young entrepreneurs out there that don't know they're entrepreneurs yet, and I would love to see them become entrepreneurs and love to help them and guide them in any way that I could. Being an entrepreneur can be very, very scary at times because you kind of step into the unknown, and that can be very fearful.
Well, you're starting off with an idea.
Exactly.
You need to know how to promote it and how you got to finance it.
You got it. It gets scary, but I would say identify a problem. If you can identify a problem and find a solution for it, that's the start of it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there have done that, and I would love to hear those ideas.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, Chad, thanks very much for joining us today and sharing your ideas. And we thank you folks for inviting us into your parlor, and we will see you next time.